you lose functioning, and you find yourself down here. And now, this loss of health ends up costing you tens of thousands of dollars just to try to regain it. Okay? Has anyone in here ever put someone in a nursing home? Ever done that? Okay, back. How much did it cost? Do you remember how much was it per month?
Well, he to first start paying, it was $5,000 a month.
Okay. And the average is this here per month, $6,350
Yes,
or
it's
$6,023 per month. That's the average. What's the average length of stay at a nursing home?
Well, my father passed
2.44
away
years.
there.
That's the average thing. So if you were to think about it, so those people who end up in the nursing home, the less than 2.5 years of their life end up costing $183,000 for the last 2.5 years of their life.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. What exactly has that person lost that makes it so that they end up in nursing home? That's what they've lost. Right? They've lost functioning. Now they're down there, and that's what they have to spend. Right? Okay, so looking at it, health is our greatest asset. We know that ultimately we're responsible for it. We know it's not how you look, how you feel. It's actually how our bodies are functioning, and we're committed to doing it. So if we agree to all those things, wouldn't it be important to know how you could control how your body functions? Because if you can control how your body functions and improve that, then you're going to end up going over here. Does that make sense? In other words, a lot of people look at health as kind of a luck thing. In other words, they kind of picture it and they say, okay, the people who were down here, you know, that's really unfortunate. They just weren't lucky. And the people who are healthy, they're just kind of lucky. They didn't lose their health. But really, would it make sense that if you could control how your body functions and improve that, that you could actually take control of your health? And not based on how you look, how you feel, but actual health, real health. Does that make sense? Okay. So looking at it, what part of your body controls every single thing in your body? It's your brain. Your brain controls all the functions of your body. And it does that by sending energy down your spinal cord. Your spinal cord is like a river carrying energy from the brain through your spine, out from in between the vertebra to all the organs, all the tissues, all the cells of your body. And each and every organ is totally dependent on the energy from your brain to keep us alive and healthy. And that system is how your body works or functions from conception all the way to death, 24/7. It never stops as long as you're alive. Right? However, let's say that somebody were to cut off your head. What would happen?
Done.
You die, right? Let's say someone were to cut the nerve to the heart. What would happen? You would die. Now, is that a belief or is that a fact? It's a fact, right? In other words, we're not talking about a theory here. There's no possibility they're going to cut your head off and you're going to live. However, if we were to scale that back a little bit, we don't cut the nerve to the heart. However, we provide some irritation to that nerve. What would happen to the heart? What do you think?
Well, it would suffer somehow.
Right. It wouldn't stop.
Diminish functionality. It would
That's
diminish.
exactly that. That's the key. What would happen is it would start to function poorly. In other words, there's like a dam in the river, and the life, health, and healing from the brain to the heart would be diminished. And whenever something doesn't get the energy it needs to be healthy, it starts to function poorly. But see, the problem for people basing their health on how they look or how they feel is you don't feel an organ functioning poorly until, for many people, it's too late. And you end up dead in the chair holding a beer. Does that make sense? So now, if we were to scale that back a little bit, we don't cut the nerve to the heart, we just pinch that off, that's exactly what would happen, all right? So these messages from the brain to your body are so important, and your nervous system tissue is the most precious, important tissue of your whole body, that your Creator surrounded it with the hardest substance of your body, and that is the bone. So the bone of your spine protects two main areas. The first is your brainstem. Can everybody push right behind their ear here? That's your brainstem. The brainstem is the conductor for your entire body. In other words, we want all of our organs and tissues and cells to be functioning at 100%, but they can't all just be doing their own thing. There has to be a coordination of that, and that's what the brainstem does. So the brainstem controls your heart rate, your breathing patterns, your sleeping patterns, your immune response. You know, why are some people allergic to cedar, but some people aren't? It controls your hormones. That's a big deal. If we were to tweak the hormones a tiny bit, it could have a huge effect on your overall health. Okay? Now, the brainstem is actually the area of the spine that Christopher Reeve damaged. Remember, Christopher Reeve fell off that horse, had 1 centimeter worth of damage right at the brainstem. And it was like a giant dam in the river right there. So all life is still here, but if there's a dam in here and life can't get to the organs, what's going to happen to all the organs? Start to function poorly. So what happened to Christopher Reeve? Had to have a pacemaker and a defibrillator just to keep his heart going. He had to have a respirator just to keep his lungs breathing, and had to push on his colon every day just to get him to go to the bathroom. Right? But I ask you, did he have a bad heart? No, he didn't. Did he, when he fell off the horse, did he land on his colon? No, he didn't. See, those organs would have functioned properly, but they weren't getting the life from the brain. Okay? The second is the spinal cord, and that's like that river highway of life connecting the brain throughout the whole spine to all of those organs and tissues and cells. And so we know that because the nervous system controls everything in your body, that it is absolutely vital that that system of the energy coming from the brain to the organs be working at 100% for us to be as healthy as possible. And see, that happens when your spine is lined up correctly. So when you look at the spine, and this is a plastic model of the spine, but when we look at the spine from the back, it should be straight. But let's say that when we go over your x-rays, yours looks like this. Is that healthy or is that sick? That's sick. Because the messages in the brain are sending the energy through your spine, but right here where you have those misaligned areas, those nerves become damaged.